Okay. Hi, I'm Mr. C, and welcome to Nollywood Film Club podcast. This is a special episode because we are not talking about a particular film. We are indeed speaking of. What are we speaking of? All right, we're doing a game. It's a game debate show type thing. It was really fun. Um, there's a lot of getting the rules out of the way in the beginning. Pardon that, but I guess just you need to understand the rules so that you can enjoy the game show. But like, it's very, very much fun. There's no wrong or right answer. It's just subjective questions. They will discuss the best performance, the best movie we discussed on the Nollywood Film Club. On Nollywood Film Club. And we discussed the worst, which actually both brought a lot of violence. It's just so much fun to watch people both defend films that they wouldn't defend on a normal basis and attack films that they wouldn't on a normal basis. That was most fun thing to watch. But yeah, the whole thing is just a bit of fun. You hear people being mean. It's just the game. Calm down. I'm sure they mean some of it, but like you can't take any particular thing too serious. But yeah, without further ado, I hope you enjoy Nollywood Film Club's first Nollyfight. All right, so we're all here. Right. So, welcome to Nollyfight. It is the only Nollywood debate show in town. Oh my goodness, we have some epic questions for our chaotic fighters tonight, whom I will be introducing shortly. Today is going to be so much fun. BBN is shaking. Oh, no pressure to the contestants. I don't want to overhype this show, but I've heard some people say BBN is shaking because of us. I am Mr. C of Eureka Critic, your sarcastic host and dictator, judge for tonight. I'll be asking the audience to help me pick the winner for some of these debates. So please pay attention, listen to their points, and we'll get back to that. So, with us fact checking our contestants, maybe it's an honest mistake, or maybe they're full of lies like election season. Our fact checker is here with us, Mrs. C. Mrs. C, say hello.
Hello, everyone.
Mrs. C, who do you think is going to win today's?
I can't say that because then they'll start accusing somebody of Ojora and influence. All I'm saying is I will catch you if you lie.
Okay, all right. Mrs. C is ready for anybody's lies. All right. So thank you for our wonderful audience here today. Some of you are going to be helping us judge these fights, so watch out for when the raising hand option becomes available. Before we meet our fighters, please use the hashtag Nollyfight or Nollywood Film Club, or you can actually just respond to this space. That's the thing that happens now. Yes,
that happens now. Yes, old man.
But yes, I said I was going to say this. Please remember, this is a fight. All is fair in love and war. What our fighters say here today may not actually represent their true feelings. Everybody's just trying to win a game, so please don't take things to heart if you either listen to it live or the recording. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right. So let me introduce our members. Our first member hasn't been on Film Club for a minute, but whenever he's on, you can expect poetic chaos. Don't be fooled by his name because he has a big mouth. It's Wantakri. Wantakri, please say hello. Oh, Wantakri. Wantakri is off.
Wantakri got bounced. I don't know what happened.
Wantakri is.
But he's here.
Yes. All right. We'll get back to him. Our second member, she's usually one of our first speakers on Nollywood Film Club. She's known to some as Nollywood Encyclopedia and others as Eliza. But today, she has no plans of being behind. Please welcome Always Guiding. Always Guiding, please say hello.
Hello.
All right. Always Guiding, how do you feel being the people's favorite based on the polls that went out today?
I'm shocked. I'm just hoping that I have not made anybody handicapped.
All right. Okay. All right. And our final member, last but not the least, is our our most direct and test speaker on Film Club. But don't get fooled by her sweet voice. She's not scared of anyone, not even felines. It's Chow Meow. Chow Meow.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. All right. How do you feel about your chances of winning today's competition?
Pretty good.
Yes, confident.
I have facts on my side.
Hey, all right.
That's
Okay.
right.
We're very, I like it. We've already begun. Edwin, sorry, not Edwin.
What?
Wanta Crick.
God.
Oh, these names. Wanta Crick, can you hear us and can you speak now? Oh, God. By the way, your network is part of the.
Like, if your network does you dirty, your network does you dirty. Like,
all right. Okay. Wanta Crick is having some network issues. I'm going to ask him to restart his phone and see how that works. Whenever he joins, he can join with the handicap. Unfortunately, that's
it would have to be a handicap.
yeah, that's how it is. But Wantakri is supposed to be one of the hot favorites based on offline chatter. All right, but
Where are you hearing chatter from?
all right, but let me introduce whilst Wantakri, can you speak? Can you hear us now? Let's see.
Yeah, I can.
All right.
Oh, finally.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've all met our fighters. Here are the rules of the game. I'm going to ask them some questions. Our fighters will give us a short intro to why they think their answers are the best. And after that, they will fight and they will rebut each other's answers. When the time is up, I'll tell them, and I will be judging them. But I also, if it's tight, I'll ask the audience who they think has made the better point. By the way, the way it's judged is based on the arguments, not what you think was the correct answer, not what I think was the correct answer. It's based on the quantity and quality of their points. It's based on creativity and it's based on passion. So all of those things are what's going to make the answers be get the point essentially. All right. So enough talk. I would say just don't forget hashtag and all the commenting. All right, let's begin.
You've not said how much time everyone has.
How much time everybody has for
How
what?
much time they have for their answers?
Oh no, we don't care. It's about 6-7 minutes max, but we'll play with it as the Lord speaketh.
Okay.
All right, so let's go on. Let's ask the first question. Nollywood has had an interesting 2022. As we round up the year, we take a look back at some of the interesting films discussed on Nollywood Film Club. That being said, what was this year's best performance? Let's start with Chow Miao. Chow Miao, please tell us, in your opinion, what was this year's best performance?
This year's best performance was obviously Sylvia. Zainab Balogun in Sylvia. She plays such a multifaceted character, and you can sort of see all the evolutions that Sylvia goes through her. And you feel, the feelings. You feel when she's sad and when she's mad. And she just gives such a richness to the character. The character makes sense and kind of evolves through the story. And her motivations are like explained and shown even. But also, you see her not necessarily do, you see her do evil things, but she's convincing when she does them. And she also still manages to be sweet in some scenes. And it's just such a well thought out, well played character.
Okay. All right. No, thank you. Thank you, Chow Miao. That is, so Sylvia is the pick. By the way, just to remind people, it's not obviously the films that necessarily came out the year. It's the films we discussed on Nollywood Film Club this year. All right. So second introduction, we'll go with Wantakri. Please tell us what's your pick for this year.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
My pick for this year, I think it was pretty straightforward. It was a performance in one of the best films in the year, critically acclaimed. With the Surreal 16 doing their thing, and of course, it was the short of the three films that had the most generated the most conversation, uh, and the performance per se that generated the most conversation, which is Nengi Adoki's character in Suffer the Witch, the third of the three series. I think it's the best performance because it's basically okay. I know I'm being sacrilegious for saying this, but it's basically the Nigerian equivalent of Viola Davis in Doubt, where she literally has like 8 minutes to create backstory, develop a character, suggest motivations, suggest counter motivations, and still surprise the audience at the end. Like we know that this person is malevolent from the first scene, but somehow she manages to convince us to still guess. We still guess right up until the very end, where she does the thing which should ideally confirm our assumptions about her. And even when she does it, we're still like, is it what we think happened that happened, or is there some other subtext or some other um, context that we're missing? Which is very, very hard to do in Nollywood, which where most of the characters are very one-dimensional and straight to the point. So she brings a lot of, and most of that ambiguity is because of how well Nengi Adoki is able to shift between personalities, shift between identity, channel good, channel evil, channel sinister, channel funny, channel obsessive. And so, yeah, because of how much complexity there is to the character and how much she had to like interpret in such a short period of time and even shorter screen time, I think it's definitely the best performance of all performances that we watched over the year.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Matakri. That's so Nengi Adoki's performance in Suffer the Witch. All right. And last but not the least, who is guiding? I should have asked you why that name, but we'll go with it. Please tell us what.
Okay.
Please tell us what your pick was.
Okay, so I picked Jude Akorudike. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. His character in Eyimofe as Eyimofe himself. Eyimofe is one of the most compelling characters I've seen in Nigerian cinema in a long time. And this is because this character doesn't employ melodrama in depicting his character. This character is heavily dependent on how is able to translate his characterization without even putting it in dialogue. So we're not saying nobody's telling us who Jude is. His performance throughout this is what makes you relate to him, or you see his internal struggle, his internal conflict when he's happy. He's just a simple man who works, loves his family, is a man of few words. So you cannot even say, okay, this is how he would have reacted. We see how he journeys through life. He wants to leave Nigeria without so much being said, but the way he was depicted, he's when he smiles, when he's happy, the way he twitches his lips when he's very happy and he doesn't want to say much. And then when he experienced death and how mechanical he moved through it could be because at that moment you're not sure, is it because he's desensitized to death or because he's a slow burner, very slow to react. And then when we see him react, eventually we see that anger and all that pent up angst that he has had. And that's what makes this him compelling in Aim of It, the movie. Because at the end of the day, his character and his characterization carried his entire movie. And then even though we're watching through mundane things that is happening right at and that is also happening to him, his performance was compelling enough to get you on your seat and then watch his journey all through. That's why I think he's had the best performance in any movie that we've seen this year. Thank you.
Oh, okay. All right. So we have Jude from Ayumafe. We have Nengi from Juju's Stories. and we have Zainab from
Sylvia.
Sylvia. All right. Okay, you guys fight it out. Why are your characters better than the other one?
And why do the other characters suck?
I think it's interesting that Wantikiri starts like his first point about how great the movie is, and it just oversells the point that that character is only as good as it is because of how good the rest of the movie is. She's doing a lot of leaning on the success of the story there. She doesn't really give much of anything, and she's just quiet. I think the only thing she gives you feeling wise is just quiet, eerie, nothing else. We don't understand why she's doing anything she's doing. She just is. And I don't see how that can be a compelling character to tell. And then for Mufe's story, Mufe's characterization isn't simple or underdramatic, it's just lazy. There's a lack of depth to any of the feelings he shows. Every single emotion comes out with the same notes. And like, let's not forget his half British accent.
Oh,
Why?
you guys don't wait for me. I'm not. You guys jump in.
Fight.
Okay. First, I'm not trying to defend Mofe. Let me start with Zainab as Sylvia. I mean, I thought she gave good performance, a mid actually throughout, because I mean she was able to move from one emotion to the other, but not without the melodrama, without the obvious, because she really wants you to notice that she's angry. And when she's sad, she really wants you to notice that she's sad. And then when she's about to be angry again, like, look at me, I'm really, really angry. I don't think that's performance. I think
At
that's
least there
trying
was
too
emotion.
hard. Yes, I am, because every single time she wants to speak to Chris Atto's character, she has to pull her neck, and then she's crying. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Is it psychosis at this point? And but that's not it, because she wasn't going to get to psychosis until the middle when she got angry. But it really doesn't matter because she gave the same thing all through. So she employing melodrama to drive your points. That's the easiest. That's
But look at
the
how in
easiest decision.
detail you
And
remember her performance. I don't
yes,
remember anything of Mufe's performance because it's just
oh,
empty.
because she did not want to, and that's actually very okay, because I mean I would assume that when you're watching a character that is really not saying so much about himself, and is just carrying about day-to-day activities, and then is dealing with internal conflict, and is dealing with grief,
He has
they
taken a
should
lot of English.
For boring. Like you find a lot of words for boring.
not hold your attention, because you're waiting for somebody to over dramatize for you, to show you that they're hungry. Oh, look at me, I'm angry. Oh, look at me, I'm really sad. I just lost somebody. So I think that's actually understandable. Why would you think so? And then on to Nengi as the witch.
Tread
Uh,
carefully.
Congratulations on being a witch. But what else?
Hmm.
I don't know. You were scary, and then you did a little laugh, and then you were scary.
I don't know
Um,
if you can make that argument, considering Jude was like boring, like he was flat. I don't think there's any character that has been as flat. If in fact, I feel like Jude was cosplaying Oh Africa when he came, when he was, because the character in Emofe, like he basically is like, it was like there was winter in Lagos and he was just like huddled in a corner, moving from scene to scene, trying to dodge the snow, because I don't like, Nigerians don't act like that. We don't move like that. None of the energy that
because this is
Judah
an
put.
assumption that we are all monotone, because this is an assumption that we all react in the same manner. And I would rather know.
No,
I
no,
don't see
but
how you
we
don't
do, we
see
do.
there.
Like it would have been, if it would have, this argument you're making would have flown if everybody else around him was, antagonistic to his response to whatever was happening. They pretty much just rolled with whatever he did. Nobody asked him, are you not sad that your sister and her child, like what, like no energy, no nothing.
Because that is the
Nobody. In fact,
characterization, is the sort of person to be spoken over, because that is the characterization. Is really no. In fact, that makes it awesome because he's not the sort of person to take decisions for himself. His sister,
But
who he has
that's
just
not what
lost,
we're making. That's
the
not the
person
point we're
he has just
making
lost,
now.
and that's it because he's a character who is grounded in obscurity. That
But
is
you
the
see,
idea.
a character who is
See,
grounded in
that you
obscurity.
cannot even remember him is testament to how fantastic he depicted that role because it's supposed to
No,
be obscure, yes.
I don't see it because for a role like that, if you're going to do a boring character in a film,
All
then the
right.
boring character has to be contrasted with characters who have vibrancy and life. And there was no character that was vibrant or lively in that entire film. So it was just like a whole soup of like
Eh,
it's like
So
lentil soup,
now
like
that's
a
Okay.
just
film.
the
Okay. All
movie,
right.
but we're
All
talking
right.
about
We're on,
Imofe
we're on
here,
time.
and there
We're
are
on
lots
time.
of characters, but let's not get into that. Let's
Wait,
just
wait,
focus
before you
let's
finish,
focus
let
on
me. I have
Imofe.
one thing to say about
Yeah.
Sylvia
Hang
before
on.
we.
Where's my? What's
Wait,
that?
wait, I have one thing to
Mute.
say.
There we go. Power.
Daniel, mute him.
Daniel has done the work. All right. No. Thank you guys. That was good. I like it. There's heat. It's
But we're
interesting.
not on fire yet.
I will actually give you one last bite of the cherry. Is about like a minute to do like a closing statement for why you think yours is the best. All right. We'll start with Mantakri first.
1 minute why my film is the best.
Yes.
Let me use 30
Not your
seconds to
film,
get in the
your
thing.
character.
Okay,
Your,
my
your,
character. One reason why. Okay, let me first use the first 30 seconds to get to what I want to say about Sylvia. Sylvia is terrible because she's in a film with Inidima Okoje, who is the literal equivalent of a plastic doll, and Inidima even had more chemistry with Chris Arthur's character. It felt like she was in another film and everybody else was acting something else, and she was doing, which is why the crazy seemed to work because clearly there were two different films happening, and Zena Balogun had no idea what film she was in. She was not sexy. She was not scary. She was just like, she would hunch her shoulders and then the black eyeliner. She would now squint her eyes. That's not acting. My character is perfect. It's because she has range. Something the other bitches in the film universe don't seem to have. All from what's her name? From I don't know, Shafi Bello down to the last person. She had range. She had characterization, and she was wearing Maria Amaka cloth. You know how hard it is to wear Maria Amaka cloth and still show range and even feel sexy. I beg, please, 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 don't even don't come for Negi because Negi, she came, she showed up, she showed out. Everybody was, revulsed and slightly aroused, which
all
is
right.
like,
Okay.
please.
All right. That's a 1 minute.
Thank you. Great place to end it.
Wow.
Revulsed and slightly aroused.
All right. Okay, that was a strong closer, I have to say. Next is always guiding. Always guiding. Give us your 1 minute take on why your role your performance is the better one, and the other ones are not as good.
While everyone else is depending on why the face or the melodrama should carry them through, Aimofe is just moving through compelling act of an obscure man trying to survive Lagos. I don't know what else they are very used to, especially sorry, sorry if I just butchered your name. Why you would think that Nengi is a better actress than Bukola, who carried the entire Suffered the Witch. But Eimofe, even though there were other people there, even though there were other actors and actresses around him, his quiet demeanor rather carried the entire movie. Thank you very much.
So strong.
Hang on. Thank you. No, that was a strong closer. Yes. All right. Last but not least,
Chow Meow.
Chow Meow, please.
I love that name.
Tell us why your performance is the best.
So Wantikuri mentions that Inni has more chemistry with I don't remember his name, the lead. I think it's Richard. And that is the point. If she doesn't have more chemistry with Richard, then why does Richard love her so much? Sylvia embodies the character she's supposed to. Slightly unhinged, but very funny. And I don't need to say more words or spend the rest of the time talking negatively about you guys because it's just not worth it.
All right. Oh my goodness. What a first round. Jeez. right now, where I am right now, I have no idea who I'm going to go through my notes, but like I don't even know where I'm leaning. Everybody, this was such a strong first round.
I think this is a good time to remind everybody: do not take anything here personally. If you're listening live or recording.
Yes, all right.
Okay.
But yeah, this what a really good. I liked so I liked a lot of the introduction. Everybody actually talked about their performance as well. Always Guardian talked about range, minutia in performances, internal conflict. Wantakri talked about this able to pack so much in such little time and like carrying sort of backstory in her performances and uh and Chamiao talked about being multi-layered as well and the evolution of the character of Sylvia, which all great points. And there were some good attacks as well. Mofe's accent came up. I love Mofe, everybody knows that, but yes, it's a thing that if you watch out for, you probably, it does sound a little off. There's also talk about
melodrama.
There's also talk about melodrama in Sylvia, lack of range. Which, when I think about it, I was like, I guess she was playing pretty crazy for the most part, isn't it? But like, it was quite crazy. It was quite crazy. But I would probably say maybe it doesn't have. I might agree it doesn't have as much as the range. All right, and the biggest hit though I thought was
guiding.
Was this. Actually, I was gonna go with Wantakri's Zainab not knowing what film she's in.
I think the biggest hit was Always Guiding, saying Bukola carries the film.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was that. Anyway, but like, man, I don't know where I think right now, looking through my notes. Oh, all right, I'm gonna need the audience for this one. Mrs. C, where are you leaning though?
Where am I leaning?
First off, are there any things to fact check? Did you
So the thing is, like, fact checking a performance is hard, right? Because when someone goes, that person was one note, I'm like, I think that was one note, but I can't fact check it, right?
Not that. It's sometimes some people will say obvious things like, oh, it's the highest box.
Right. But it's a performance. There's no highest grossing.
So yeah, there weren't a lot of things to fact check. Is what you're saying. Okay, all right, but where are you leaning?
I think there were still dirty liars here, Shab.
yeah. They gotta do. I'm sure they all kind of like all these films to a degree on all these performances, but they have to win. So, but where are you leaning?
I think I don't feel like Watakri has done the best job in defending his performance. I think Chow Miao might have had the most points defending her performance. I think Always Guiding had the best rebuttals, but I think Watakri is still in the game, from my perspective.
So who did you pick at the end of this?
I picked now. I said best defense, best attack.
I asked you who you're leaning to. Who are you leaning to?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Closing statement wasn't my strongest.
I'm gonna ask the audience. So we're going to just do a quick look. I am right now. I'll tell you who I'm leaning at right now. I think they all had pockets of really good performances. I thought Otas was the one. Sorry, I thought Chow Miao started the strongest.
Yeah.
I thought Wantakri finished the. I thought Wantakri finished the strongest as well. And I think always Guiding was always in pockets where she was like really pulling out good points. So I think I'm leaning. I might be actually leaning. Then this is crazy because I think it's not even my favorite. It might be my least favorite performance from this three. But I think I might be leaning Wantakri.
Oh.
I think I might be leaning Wantakri. All right. What are the people? What are people saying? Let's see. Suffer the Witch. Chow Meow. All right. Okay. I think Suffer the Witch is getting, but I can't tell if that's people. All right. Let me ask the audience members, please. If you think the person who made the best points was well, we're going to start with, what do you call it?
Chow Meow.
Chow Meow. Right. If you think Chow Meow made the best points for Sylvia, please give us the thumbs up sign. Thumbs up sign, please.
We're talking best points, so not the performance you like.
Yes, the person who did the best one. All right. And if you think Wantakri had the best points,
you can't vote twice.
if you think Wantakri had the best points for the Nengi, give us the 100. I think the 100 is available, right? Give us the 100 emoji, please. Okay, we've got 1, 2. Oh, I love hundreds. Okay, absolutely. All right. Calm down, some of you. I've seen it. And then for the last one, if you think always guiding. If you think always guiding had the best one, please give us. I don't know if people have the heart. If people have the heart emoji, please give us the heart emoji. All right, a thumbs up, I guess we'll do. Okay. All right, so the audience has gone with me. So
there's more hearts. We're seeing people voting twice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm looking at our contestants voting. Oh wow, okay. There's actually quite a few hearts there. There's actually a few hearts. But I think the most was probably Wantakri, and they're siding with me. All right, first point goes to Wantakri.
Okay.
So it's but don't worry, there's still 3 more questions. That was a really strong fight. All right, okay. So the second one is very straightforward. What is the movie of the year as discussed by Film Club? Movie of the year, and to start us this time, let's start with Always Guiding, please. Always Guiding, what is your movie of the year?
Movie of the year, as discussed by the film club, will go to Eyimofe. So when apart from the fact that there was a general consensus, well, people also didn't like it, but apart from the general consensus, I will go with, when you talk about how good a movie is, first to talk about the script, the story, the plot, and then how cohesive it is, the dialogue, how natural, how relatable, how less on the nose it is. And then we'll go to some of the technicals, the sound excellence, the color grading. This movie was shot in film. I thought that was ambitious, considering not a lot of people shooting on celluloid any longer. The coloring, the art direction. So when you talk about art direction, also you talk about the choice of color, the location, the set design, the colors, especially the colors in this film, which is very close to Asian cinema, the reds and the green, the yellows. It pops very much. It pops well on film. I also say it with Eyimofe when he carries his red box, his red uniform, and some of the shots, the choices in shooting through doors and windows and and open ends. And also let's talk, what else is, let's talk the theme itself, the central theme. This movie also does well because this is a contemplative movie, which is not our usual go-to style. I thought that it was ambitious also. um what else is there to talk about? The costuming, um the scoring also, the sound, the ADRs, everything seemed to work perfectly, at least technically, and and the performance, because even actors that you would see in there who on in another production you think they're giving over the top performances, I thought AMFA did so well there to achieve a measured and well tempered performances all through. even from secondary characters who at least was on the face. And we had Oyinbo actor who can actually act. That is like more points for Imofe. Um, and that's for me.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Always guiding. So, Chamia, please tell us what you think the film of the year, as discussed by Film Club, was.
Okay, my film of the year is The Lost of Koroshi. And I think The Lost of Koroshi explores really just such deep cultural lines. And the actors in it are great, especially the lead. He is funny and endearing. And also, you can kind of feel his confusion as things start to happen, even when he's silent for more than half of the film. Um, and so he manages to display a lot of feelings and emotion, even while not saying anything or over dramatizing, as some people say, and still is not boring. And the movie itself has a lot of color, a lot of learning. It manages to not go on for 2 hours and tell such an impactful, powerful story in just around the hour and a half. And it also is one of those movies that can appeal to not just a Nigerian audience who has this familiarity with their culture, but a wider, more diverse audience. And that's one of the reasons why it shines. It's a cinematic masterpiece, really, for its time and for its class.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Chamel. Not that people are brown nosing, but I love both of these films. But these are great picks. Well done. All right. So, Matakri, what are you bringing to the table? What is a film?
So I chose my best film of the year. First of all, by staying within the year in review, some people went 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago to extract things from the past and bring to the present. But my film was actually shot and released in this year. So there's that for me. Secondly, my film, by the way, is Anikulakbo. And the first reason why I think it's the best film of the year, because it's a film that manages to stay timeless. Anikulakbo is a film that you watch 10 years from now and it won't feel dated, which is something that happens with a lot of Nollywood scripts. You can almost tell the year that it was written and the mindset of the person who wrote it in the year that it was written. And you don't really have that with Anikulakbo. Secondly, the characters were not typecast. We saw Shafi Bello. We saw what's her name? Shola Shobowale in a new light, like somebody, for anybody to be able to make Shola Shobowale, reduce her volume is a win for me. So there's that. Kuliremi was excellent. The other babe, I can't remember her name, something, Sha. She was excellent. In fact, even the supporting characters, everybody is just like excellent in Anikulapo. And so because of that, like the fact that Colin Afolayan was in his bag this time around and he was able to cast and then direct characters in a way that feels fresh and new is something we haven't seen in Nollywood for a while, because everybody has been typecast and doing the same thing over and over. And of course, Anikulapo gets points for world building. The world in which Anikulapo happens is fully realized. We're not questioning anything. We're not questioning any choices. There are no pure water bottles, or sorry, bottled water in the shot, or somebody's wearing shimi, or like just so everything, like the world is contained. The world is fully realized. And finally, Anikulapo was fun. It's been a while since we watched a film that was able to generate fun conversation on Twitter, and not like everybody just had fun with it. And so, because of these few reasons of mine, I think that Anikulapo was the best film of 2022 that was reviewed by Film Club.
All
Smooth.
right.
I'm so smooth. Oh my god.
I love the prelude before naming the film. Like, this film was shot and released 2022.
All right. Okay. The only thing I wanted to say was that just based on the rules, it's just what we discussed this year. So,
But nice try.
But everything is powerful. Cool. So, all right. So you guys fight it out. Why is your film the best and the other person's film doesn't work?
I realized that most of the speakers did not say anything so much about the technicality of their movies, even it's been the best movie of discussed this year. First, The Lost Okoroshi. Oh God, that is one film that, well, good performances here and there is riddled with technical faults all around. The sound was bad, the grading was going in and out. Uh, Sometimes you think you understand it thematically, but at the end of the day, it just leaves you with so much questions that it cannot explain. Why was if Nada's character, why did we keep saving her? What was she? She was basically carrying the movie, and then at the end we really cannot reconcile what exactly happened between those two. What did she represent? Let's talk about Nikulapo also. The director of God bless him, he's fantastic. He came back this year doing something better than he has been doing for years. And while this is new shiny toy may shine, what it successfully did was change even what he intended thematically. That is a testament to poor directing, because this story isn't about this
Where? Please,
story
where?
isn't
Where?
about this story isn't about acrimony, but the entire conversation around Anikulapo was acrimony. This story is
It's called
about
social
not excuse
discoverability.
me,
When
excuse
your
me.
film starts to
But this
generate
is the
conversations
problem
across genres.
when your central theme is supposed to be not escaping destiny and also hubris. But what it successfully did is make this a Tyler Perry 2.0. Why are we having Tyler Perry conversations? And look at how
No,
suddenly
you
ended up.
can't say
And
that
Anikulapo
because
also had
Anikulapo
sound
does.
problems. And Anikulapo also had sound problems, but let's leave that. When we're talking about world building,
See,
he supposedly
you
built
can't
some
see like
world, but somehow also it did not help us realize that this world we are
I can understand where
creating
you're
is
coming
more
from
than
because
three
Amofe was a dirge.
locations,
It was like a
more than three
funeral, like it was a
locations.
funeral
So
song,
while this
and
new
joy
shiny
is hard
toy
to
may
process.
shine,
Are you guys
it's even the
done?
best film for the year. Oh, you can go ahead, Chalma.
Anyways, it's great to see them fighting over mediocrity. Um, because first of all, Wantikuri starts by saying or ends by saying that he thinks it's a film that managed to stay timeless based on nothing. He's assuming. But the fact that we as a film club bring back the last Okoroshi 5 years as he tried to sub us after the fact and watched it and enjoyed it and got largely positive reviews then, and I have chosen as best film, tells you that this movie actually will transcend time and has done so already. And just off that alone, I don't think there was much more to be said there.
Oh no, but definitely because Lost Okoroshi,
And then
obviously,
his
like
movie,
everybody enjoyed Lost
Anikulapo,
Okoroshi
first of
because
all,
Lost
chooses
Okoroshi was an
inconsistent
SNL skit.
nudity
It was like
and
it was like
uses
a prolonged
nudity
SNL skit.
gratuitously that doesn't do anything. It doesn't move the plot, doesn't move the storyline, and it's inconsistent with the other times they show nudity. It just doesn't fail to deliver, what it tells you is going to deliver. Their love story is unbelievable. While both actors were both strong and acted well, there just wasn't enough to believe the love story that they were trying to sell us. And for that reason alone, it just falls flat. It takes too long to get to the point. Eyumofe, as we
The-
stated, is boring. The main character is boring. And the main character, unfortunately, drives most of the story, giving us nothing. The story is boring. There's no emotion. You don't really root for anyone. And the only way
I
they're
could have
able to
thought you were
achieve
talking
any
about the lost
emotion is by
authority, because
telling
when you
two
said
mediocre
boring
stories
there,
in
for a
one.
second I heard lost
Why?
authority.
Why tell
Lost
two
Okoroshi
mediocre
was what
stories when you could attempt to tell one decent one?
I wish Lost Okoroshi had budget because that masquerade was giving low budget. It was giving as about Nollywood because like somebody as
At
about
least the
Nollywood is
costumes were
living in a
consistent.
masquerade because like even the color and the grade is like pink and purple. Like I don't understand. I know he had like a fever dream and there was a bit of weed involved before he was writing the script, but when you get sober, you leave that behind. You don't bring it to this. Like, why am I watching a film in purple and pink? Why am I watching? It's like even the Instagram skits I watch, they have better transitions than the transitions in Lost Okoroshi. Like, are we playing? Is this we're in 2022? Like, I don't I don't
All
like
right.
we're in the
The
new
good
like
thing is that at no point have either of you said the story is bad or it's not well written. So that tells me
Oh my God, it's boring. It's not coherent.
well,
It is
why didn't
hard
you
to
start with
follow. It
that?
is
A
not
All right.
Affair is boring,
cohesive.
and that's what everybody
That is
knows.
enough.
that's a
It is not
non-starter.
Daniel,
memorable.
mute him.
It is
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Daniel. Uh, oh wow! What a fight! That actually that was a good one as well. All right. We'll do closing statements. It's almost it's so much fun. It's also painful because I love all of these. I love two of these
Two of
movies.
these movies.
I love two of these movies, but yeah, it's so much fun. You guys have done really well. But give us your closing statements.
Always guiding. Close us off first. Well, start.
Oh,
We started with always
so.
guiding.
So, closing statement is that a movie that touches on a theme that is perfect, pervasive in the society and manages to do so with a little bit dignity than we are usually afforded. Also managed to get every technical things right, especially something as minute as sound that the two other movies, even one with shiny budgets, refused to manage. And also managed to have a story. I mean, a story thematically that Lost Operation would hope that it was, apart from, well, the Masquerade. Well, Lord bless the Masquerade. So Eimofe is a superior movie. Art wise, art directing wise, story wise, dialogue, please, the dialogue. Any of you I think you can think about. Thank you.
all right. Thanks. Always guiding. Who's next? I've lost track of the other.
Chow Meow's next.
Chow Miao, please tell us.
Okay. For one of the contestants here, they have chosen a movie that has two boring main characters who rely heavily on their co-actors. Of course, it's easy to get sound right when you're not taking any risks. When your main actor spends the whole day sitting around not emoting anything. But the reality is that Yuma Fair was boring. The main characters were boring. Neither of them could successfully emote their way out of the plastic bag. Anikulapo was long and convoluted and did not tell the story it thought it was going to tell. The Loss of Koroshi not only teaches you stuff about a culture that is vibrant, it shows you the vibrancy in colors and in action. The Loss of Koroshi delivers his points almost without speaking for half of the movie. And that alone is applause worthy.
Oh
All
yeah.
right.
Thanks,
Thank
Chow
you.
Miao. Wantake, round us up, please, with your.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, who are actually quite biased because, they said that they loved two of the three movies, which means that we can't really trust their observations or judgments. Thank you. I've put that in place first before I start. Um, my film was the best film because, of all the three films, only one started a Twitter riot about the Oscars. When your film starts a Twitter riot about the Oscars, please call me. Until then, sit down in your small film festival management that people are managing. One small award here, nominations there. Until they are fighting for the Oscars for you, please do not call me. And all these films are so boring. They are so like, oh, it's like Los Okorushi is like, I'm so important. I can see the world. Oh, my brain has cleared LSD and blah blah. No, 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 dear, please. Like, are people going to have fun at some point? Like, what is so bad about a film that is fun and gets people fighting about acrimony and the Oscars? When will
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, just a tiny bit of fact check here.
Go on.
The Oscar Broha was actually our hostman,
Election Oba.
Election. Also, Chow Miao, I think any filmmakers here will fight you for saying it's easy to get sound right. Doesn't matter what follows after. They will find you with their pitchfork.
All right. Okay. Thanks, Mr. C. All right. Okay. This was actually a good fight as well. I think Montakwe had a huge hill to
He was fighting for his
huge mountain
life.
to climb. To be honest, I could have seen him taking on maybe the Lost to Kurishi because Lost to Kurishi is a small budget film. I can see good arguments made from there, but like, yo,
He fought for his life.
it was just
He tried.
I think that one. If there's if there's a movie, he's definitely not winning this one.
No, sorry.
All right, so this was between Chow Miao and
Always Guiding.
And Always Guiding. I'm sorry, Always Guiding brought up a
Always
list.
Guiding got a list, and I don't even feel like it's fair, but
a list.
There was a list. I'm sorry.
Yo,
and Chow Miao had beautiful comebacks.
Yeah, and there was which is.
But the list.
So yeah, I loved the timeless reverse Uno from
that was beautiful
from Chow Miao. Oh my god, that
was sweet.
That one we lost the Croatia about why we're talking about it today. Yeah, Annie Kulakwa took a humble L, and during this
and the bit about the lead not saying anything.
Yes,
for most of it, that was great.
There were some good points. So this one is,
but it's also a bit of an own because she said Jude wasn't doing too much in the game of it either. So
that's the different battle. This is a new fight. Yeah, this one was. This one was
fun.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing that the people hate Always Guiding was with Amofe was boring.
Yeah, and that was like the best.
Yeah, I just think.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I heard stuff like telling one story straight, but like this is where you're debating. I think you need to go into the nitty gritty. If it's not just obviously explainable.
I think someone should have brought back Jude's accent. I think.
I think that would have been.
That would have been a point. You should have brought back Jude's accent.
So I'm leaning
Always Guiding. Yeah. Always Guiding.
All right. Always Guiding has a point. All right. So we've got Wantakri on 1 point. Always Guiding, on 1 point, and Chow Miao still on 0. But there's still 2 more questions. So who knows? All right. Let's see. So the third question. We're getting to the violent stuff.
It's already been violent.
Yeah. You wait. All right. So there were good stuff this year, but obviously there were some things that Nollywood Film Club there was discussed that brought out emotions. Some bad stuff. So, in your opinion, what was the worst performance of this year? As discussed by Nollywood Film Club. All right, so Wantakri, I believe, is the last person who hasn't started. So Wantakri, please tell us what's the worst performance.
So I believe in a storyline and I believe in continuity, which is why my worst performance is part of the Oscar brouhaha that happened over the last couple of months, which basically emphasizes how dare you start a beef about an Oscar nomination when you have a character like Jide Kosoko's character in Election Oba? Are you mad? Like, is it that something has touched in your brain? Because how can somebody who has 35 plus years of film experience, film and theater, act a role and they are speaking skit pidgin? I don't like every single scene that he was in. He was playing a caricature of like a illiterate black person, which is very offensive to my sensibilities, because I believe that everybody has dignity, no matter how bad your English is. So if you're going to represent the semi-literate and illiterate populations of prehistoric, pre-independence Nigeria, better come correct. Do it right. Otherwise, sit your ass down at home. Like, how can you have 35 years of experience and you don't know how to walk your way through a scene? You cannot give us method acting. Like, even if you had brought in Nollywood, drama and shouted in Yoruba or something, that would have been better. But Jacob Score was not just like, it's bad enough if you are unmemorable, but you're memorable for the absolute worst things. Like, how can you be the worst person in a film that has Odunlade's beard? How? How can you outact that beard? Like, how can you be worse than that beard? So I don't see how anybody else can argue about any other person having a worse performance when the Razzies for Election Oba is between Odunlade's beard and Jide Kosoko, my points are made.
All right, thanks, Wantakri. That was a strong opening. All right, Chamia, please tell us what you think. What you think was the worst performance of the year?
So I think the worst performance of the year was Bovi in My Village People. So for context, Bovi has been in comedy since at least 2007. I think he had a sitcom out there that he wrote. And he's been a comedian for 15 years now. And now he directs this movie that's supposed to be, some people say parody, comedy, and he manages to be the least funny person in a comedy that he self-directed, and he's a lead actor, and it's just terrible on many layered levels, even just ignoring the rest of the film. He is flat the entire movie and barely emotes at all. Like, he's supposed to be scared in many scenes, but you don't see that. He's just the same one note voice. He doesn't portray scared. He doesn't portray funny. He is not endearing as a brother. He's not endearing as a friend. You know, even when he's, running back and forth with Nkem Elwo, his performance is almost forgettable and really drowned out by everything else happening. Eh, And honestly, that's just, his performance in that movie is somehow worse than the movie, which is saying a lot.
All right, thanks, Chamia. All right, always guiding. What's your worst performance of the year?
Personally, for me, I think my worst performance will always come from the worst movie that I watched this year, which was Dwindle. And the worst performance in Dwindle was Jude Kene. I thought that character was the worst thing that I've seen since they've born me, because this guy is supposed to be acting a poor guy who is about to be thrown out of his house. And half of the time, he was acting as though he was meant to be funny. Now, here's the catch. I think this movie thought it was supposed to be a comedy. Now, the movie doing otherwise. But Jide Kene himself pretending to be a funny person is the worst thing I've seen. There was a point he was crying, and I thought he was trying to fool somebody else. Alas, he was actually really supposed to be crying. Let's pretend that there were no tears coming out. Throughout this movie, he was baked. I don't know what that meant. Really, I thought maybe it was high on cocaine. Then I was like, okay, maybe they didn't write that dialogue, or maybe they actually did write that dialogue for him. But it really didn't matter, because Jide Kene was acting through this movie as though he was under his spell. No movie, no performance is stopping that. Not even a caricature one. If he had actually given a caricature performance, at least we will know that there is some form of acting that went into that. But here, he's pretending to act. That is a worse crime than overacting or underacting. To actually pretend, because acting itself is to pretend. But him pretending to pretend, I don't know about that.
Wow.
We baked, bro.
All right, we are baked indeed, bro. Who's the last person? I can't remember.
Nwatake.
It's Wantakri. Okay, Wantakri, please tell us your worst performance. Oh,
No,
There's
Nwatake
Chamia.
already give us his worst performance.
So
Sorry.
what? It says Chamia.
Sorry, my brain's not working.
I already gave my worst performance. Are you
Is
guys
everybody
okay?
done?
I'm paying attention. Oh my god.
All right.
I'm
Okay,
so
so
sorry, everybody.
so wait. Okay.
And we're supposed to trust you guys?
Trust us, honestly. We're just a little baked, bro.
So we have all right, we have Dwindle, Jide Kena's performance in Dwindle, we have Bovi's performance in My Village People, and we have all right Jide Kosoko
In
in
Election.
Election. But all right, yes. So fight.
We'll start.
Okay. Well, I think that it's important to note that one of the few things that she says about Jide Kene is that he at least can cry and is emoting.
He
And
wasn't crying, sweetie. He wasn't crying. He wasn't emoting. That's the point.
well, you said he was both over emoting and
It was
under
supposed
emoting.
to be. No, I said he wasn't doing under. It wasn't over. It was just not doing anything. He was pretending.
At least he has momentum. I don't think
Yeah,
you can say
at least
that
there's
for.
some
I
aspect
don't think you
of
can say that
Did,
for.
emotion
did,
there.
Jide Kotoko had stupid on his face, which was what they were going for, though. So that's characterization, not the acting. It is the characterization you want to attack. It's the writer.
I mean, can that same be said for Jide Kane? I mean, his performance is neither
No,
there, near here or
that was supposed
there,
to be a
but
funny
like
movie. That was
that
supposed to be a
ultimately could
funny
also be
movie.
the characterization of
That was
the
supposed to be a funny
character.
movie.
That isn't that on the movie? Is that on Jide Kane himself?
Yes, when the actor is not trying to be funny in a funny movie, I don't know. Did you not say that about Bobby?
I did say that about Bobby, but Bobby directed himself.
No, actually, that's a lie. That was me for
No,
fancy
Bobby
opinion.
directed the movie.
Actually, me
No,
directed.
We have a fact checker
I
here. Please
believe
fact
that
Yeah,
check
Bobby
me.
that movie
Bobby
is
was
directed by
giving
me.
method acting. When something like that is happening around, you can't be funny. You're just gonna be scared. So Bobby was, he was in the
Actually,
scene. He was
Bobby was
method
being a
acting.
self-scout
He was
man.
immersed in the character. Like he was unlike like Jide Kosoko basically was not. He was not even like he
Unfortunately,
was phoning it
Jide
in. So
Kane
at
gets the
least
worst movie
Bobby
out of
was,
the bunch, and
giving method acting. He might not, but he
it's
commits
impossible to put on a
to
good
the character.
performance
And
with
Jide
that
Kene
material.
was, I don't know, it was like for you to even for Jide Kene to even like stand toe to toe with Bisola and Funke Akindele. At least he did not fade into the background. He was memorable, memorable
He
enough for
wasn't.
you to
The
dislike him.
point is,
So
he wasn't standing. Half of the time, he was shaking. He was getting caught.
no, but you remember
He
him. You
wasn't
remember him.
standing.
If he
They
was
were
that
all
bad a
His
so
character,
character
you
is
bad.
just
so
remember
He
much
was
anything
about the
about
bad.
him.
character, though, that I feel like maybe you actually kind of like him.
Is that it?
No, no. Because
I mean,
see,
it's very hard to defend terrible acting, but geez,
oh no,
have you
no,
guys?
no. So there is terrible and there is terrible. Like you have like Jide Kosko did not even act, like he was not on set. Like it was his. I don't know what was on set, but it was not Jide Kosko. At least you could tell that Jide Kene was he was just out of his depth. But because of course it's Bisola and Funke Akindele. There's nothing you can do when you're beside two of them. At least you cannot say that
He was with
Jide Kene
Shaggy.
was not better.
Shaggy was basically outshining. Do you know what he means for Shaggy to outshine Jide Kene?
No, Shaggy
Was
is in his
basically
comedy
having a
bag, so you
conversation with
can't even
himself
use that as
throughout
an
this
argument.
movie, and Jide
Shaggy
Kene
is a
was playing him.
comedian. Jide Kene is a
He
dramatic
was
actor
not even funny
in a
either.
comedic
Can you
role.
imagine being
Like,
unfunny beside somebody who was supposed to be funny, who was also unfunny?
but that's the thing. Like, if it was that hard for Shaggy, then why do you expect more from Jide Kene? Jide Kene did the best that he could do. Jide Kosoko
Oh
has
my
no
God. He
excuse.
was
He
trying
has
his
no
best.
excuse. He has no
He
excuse
was struggling for
whatsoever.
survival. He was screaming internally. You could see it on his face that half of the time he was screaming, "Help, mommy, help."
But at least the film made like 35 million, so it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Okay, all right, guys. All right, let's start. Let's do your closing arguments for what you think is the
Worst performance.
worst performance. Yeah.
Yeah, so Jide Scott is not winning any awards. I don't think he's even winning I don't think his wife is even going to cook for him when he gets home after that performance because the performance was that bad. It's the kind of performance that you bring out your bell and you take them to the village square and you scream shame. That is how bad the performance is. Like for you to be worse than Odunlade's beard. I keep saying that because that beard was like it was like like it was acting, but acting was terrible. Like every time it twitched, it moved. Jay Kosko was worse than a twitching beard. So you can't there's nothing else there's nothing else you can say outside of the fact that Jay Kosko needs to have his acting license revoked or whatever it is and be sent to a farm somewhere to farm Agbado because there's no future for him in Nollywood after that performance.
All
All
right.
right.
Thanks. Jeez. It's good time to remind people don't take it personally. Okay. Um, Otas, Champion.
Yeah, so Bovey delivers an underwhelming, unconvincing performance in a parody, which is part of what is so absurd about it. That it's a parody. It's a movie that we're not even supposed to take seriously in the first place. And Bovey still manages to ruin that with both his acting, his emoting, and his delivery. There's a lot to be said for the other characters, but Jide Kosoko is a veteran for a reason. While you may not have liked his portrayal of that character, more than likely that is what he was directed to perform. Bovey directed himself and performed nonsense.
Okay. And last but not least,
guide
guiding.
us.
Okay, first, are you guys not going to fact check Bobby directed himself?
Yes, we
Wait.
will.
And also, for Jide Kene, this movie is supposed to happen around him somehow. Him and an extended skit maker, and somehow he was worse than the extended skit maker, and that was not the first time he would actually be the lead in a movie, and somehow he managed to botch this. He wasn't emoting, he was doing nothing. He was just running around the movie from beginning to the end. And I don't know if running actually counts as acting. So that's it for me.
Okay. All right. That was an interesting round. It's interesting trying to hear people defend performances again that they would not defend on a normal day.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's fun. But fact checker, do you have it?
Yeah, Bovey didn't direct himself.
Yeah, he wrote it. I just remembered.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So.
All right. So
I feel like everyone was fighting for their lives on that round.
Yeah. It's interesting because like I found this wasn't as substantial as the other rounds.
Yeah.
From a judge's perspective, taking notes. The person who to me I'm leaning always guiding because it seemed like all the other two made, I think case was made for why Chow Miao's character was underwhelming.
Yeah.
I think case was made for why Wantakri's character was bad direction.
Yeah.
And it felt like always guiding Jide Kene, and that was the main focus was he wasn't delivering what he was supposed to be delivering, which is what a bad performance is.
I also feel like I got more of how Wantakri felt about the performance than exactly why it was bad, even though I agree it was atrocious.
I do have to give Wantakri some points for some creativity in some of those some of the shots. He said the Razzies was between the Razzies. If there was going to be a Razzies for worst performance, it would be between Jide Kosoko's performance and Delia Shinoba's beard. I would have taken that beard as a very good
as a bad performance.
as a very good answer. But yeah, I think I'm right now, because it would not be given what it's supposed to be giving. Right now I'm leaning always guiding.
Same. I'm leaning always guiding as well.
All right. Okay. So always guiding wins the point. So we're on 0-1-2. All right. All right, Chow Miao, this is
the chance, Chow Miao,
to get on the board. All right. Okay. So I've just done the worst performance of the year. What is the worst movie of the year, as discussed by Nollywood Film Club? All right. So we're starting with, I think we're starting with Chow Miao, or we're starting with Chow Miao. Yeah.
Chow Miao.
Yeah. Chow Miao. Please tell us what's movie of the year.
So my worst movie of the year is Hey You. Jesus Christ. So there is so much wrong with this movie. The acting, each lead actor is terrible in this movie. Half the time they seem to forget who exactly they're playing, or what character they need to get their head into right now. And then everything was terrible. The scenes, what are they called? The backgrounds, the set. There we go. The set was bad. the designs of their rooms seemed like they were trying to mimic sort of Americanness to it that just did not feel real or realistic for the time and the city that they were in. The story itself had so many plot holes and so much reaching to do that I don't know how it managed to take itself seriously. It spent so much time trying to convince us that this was sexy and that there was sex and look at this hot girl, that it did nothing else to develop any other part of that movie. And to make it worse, the sex scene is bad. Like, why spend so much time emphasizing this scene and, oh, come online and thinking, being this cheeky, if the sex is not only such a small part of it, it's also terrible. It just was a mess from beginning to end, from every aspect, from technical to story to plot to actors. It just, no.
All right. Thank you. So next we okay. Always guiding, please tell us what your worst performance
Film.
Oh, well, it's film, sorry.
Oh, okay. So, like I said earlier, the worst performance has to be the worst movie for me. So, I couldn't even finish Dwindle the first time because I at the 1 hour mark, nothing had showed up because this is how convoluted that plot was. That plot makes no sense. There is no person in this movie that had a solid motivation, not one single person. And along the way, this movie managed to explain its motivation all through every single thing, including minute things like things that they could have showed us, like, oh, our car got totaled. And then the flashback to a car getting totaled. And how does that correlate with if you have the money from the person that you just kidnapped? Nothing was working for this movie. This movie was written by 3 people. The 3 people managed to ruin it. This movie was executively produced by 7 people and managed to ruin it too. How can 7 people executively produce nonsense? The set design was the worst thing I've seen in my life. The police station, they had computers that were not plugged to anything. They had tape obviously showing. The biggie was started with our lead, whoever that was, Bisola's character with the police. The police were staring at her diary. What was that? And then they were like, oh, I don't want to use my body. And then went ahead to use their body to get out of the car. Some carton with some colors that had no siren working in the first place. Everything was horrible. The editing was terrible. Oh my God. There was that scene where Jidekene and the extensive skit maker were running from their landlord and then they got hooked on something. And they managed to have a conversation. In between that conversation, I managed to go to the kitchen, make some tea for myself, and they were still hung on the barbed wire. Somehow before they got down. That is how terrible the editing was. This movie somehow in the middle made us realize that, I don't know, that the governor's son was the one that kidnapped him. Okay, why did he do that again? Setting up no motivation. And then to the deputy governor was like, oh no, don't release him. How did that happen? Where's this guy? How did he show up? They managed to kidnap a governor of a state. Somehow there was no news. Nobody knew about that. Everybody was running around. You know how bad the editing is? Did I mention editing? How bad the editing is because this stupid movie managed to make this movie look like it's supposed to be a fun. You know how editing helps. With the editing here, just show their asses from Timisan's character running and hiding behind something. What was that? Was that supposed to be funny? What was that angle? Everything was just shoddily done. The dialogue, oh my God, the dialogue was bad. I was going to say on the news, but there's nothing accurate about it. It was just floundering here and there. The resolution, what was that resolution? Oh my God, what is wrong with this movie? Half of the time when I was watching this movie, I thought I was drunk, but I was not drinking. I was drinking tea. How could I be drunk on tea, right? That is how bad Dwindle was. Sound was bad, editing was bad, color grading was bad, the ADR was moving in and out. Then there was some random juju woman doing juju things even towards the end. What was that for? Who thought about that? I wish I can blank this movie from my head. And I blame this club for making me watch it to the end. Thank you very much.
Not us catching strays as
Wow.
well.
Yeah.
But no dwindle.
Always guiding, going on a rampage, and we got stray bullets. All right. Okay.
Everybody can get it.
Everybody can get it. All right. All right. So, Mataka, please tell us
What was your worst movie that we discussed this year?
Okay, so my worst movie was obviously the film with the worst performance, which honestly is just one in a buffet of terrible performances. Ojunlade, Omomi, Dada. The only person who had like a decent performance was Shafi Bello. Everybody else seems to just be floundering. But that's even going. That's we're going to ahead of ourselves. Let's start with the fact that this was a film that you know Twitter vigilantes went on a rampage to defend. They came for my darling Chineze, who sat down in her house and used her own resources to basically lobby for us to get a spot for Best International Film at the Oscars. And then this is how you repay her by trying to basically force a film that is incredibly bad down our throats. It's even worse because Anikulapo has source material that we all know and that we all have access to. So for you to fail the source material and shame Professor Wale Soyinka so bad that like I don't even think he wants to be associated with it is incredibly like frustrating. And like sorry, Election Oba, sorry, not Anikula. Election Oba, there is the gratuitous boobies on display. There is the sorry, there's gratuitous boobies on display. There is the whole white, I don't know, white savior, white this nonsense. There was DM's character who was like 42 and was supposed to be fresh out of university. What was that? There was the whole Yoruba and speaking English, and somehow spiritually, the white people and the Yoruba people can understand each other because the rules of common sense don't seem to apply in this film just to advance the plot. There were so many things that were done that made no sense, but they just needed to get to that logical conclusion that they had decided was the logical conclusion. So they just shoved it down our throats and try to bully us when we said something about it. So for somebody for the people involved, the producers, the director, rest his soul, for people, in fact, that's even another thing. For the fact that the people who use the director's legacy and his spirit, the body was not even cold in the grave to do agenda on top of a film that bad. Nah, nah, nah. Like it deserves to be the worst film because I don't understand how you people can try to basically push what is a shovel of shit as indicative of Nigerian filmmaking. Biko, please, that's not even it's not even like a debate. That's the worst film of this year.
Wow. Okay. I just have to, for the audience, voice that, hey, you guys do not talk about Chief Daddy 2.
I was gonna say
or,
not Chief Daddy 2
or
and Glamour Girls like getting away with it.
But it might be recency bias. I also made them pick it with a little bit of pressure, so I think their brain went to their earliest trauma.
In my most recent trauma.
Most recent trauma.
In my defense, I also forgot that Chief Daddy 2 came out this year. I think my brain was trying to protect me.
All right. Okay. All right. So now you guys go ahead, fight it out.
Why will anyone think that AU or Eleshinyoba is worse than Dwindle? And then, sorry, but I didn't watch CD2 and Glamour Girls. At least they had nice colors. Tell me what Dwindle had going for it. Dwindle named a movie Dwindle, and then Shaggy dropped it twice to mean don't insult me. And then that was it. And then the movie titled Dwindle, which means to diminish in size, came out word. And then we're using Hey You. Hey You at least had a semblance of a structure. That's it, a story that has a structure. It was terribly written, but at least it followed a structure. What structure did Dwindle follow? Hey You managed to have better production design. Have you seen Dwindle? And then we're talking about Leslie also. And Leslie managed to have set design, managed to get the dialogue in there, managed to do whatever it is they thought they were in before. At least people went back to read Wally Soyinka's work. So I think that's a plus. Hey, you could not, hey, you even managed their ad. Who was going to look at the ad in terribly placed ad in Dwindle? Please, no movie is touching Dwindle in how bad.
I mean, Dindo does manage to capture the attention of most of their audience. The review of Dwindles are pretty mixed, and more mixed than the rest of these movies. You didn't even finish Dwindle, so realistically, you don't even know how it ends. Maybe you miss what ties it together.
I think you need to start listening to me
The
more
show
because
and the
I said I
characters feel a
finished
lot
it.
more real than the characters in Hey You. While the movie starts with, like, two or three different things happening parallelly, they do end up somewhat coming together at the end. You would know that if you finished. So while you might feel at first overwhelmed or overburdened with, like, the number of things the film is showing you, but after you watch the whole film, you know it it kind of explains better the complexity of the stories. And Alessi Oba as well is critically acclaimed story being retold in film. It has a lot of strong characters and strong cast, and it tells a really compelling story about two different, you know, it tells a little story about, like, coming together and, like, culture clashes, and it paints a colorful picture of Yoruba culture, both past and it just that's why it received so much acclaim and why they were fighting for it to go to the Oscars. If it wasn't a movie that told a great story, I don't think that fight would have happened.
Watakre, are you still with us?
Okay. Don't ask them. Don't ask any
sorry.
personally. This is
Are we done? Have we finished
Oh,
fighting?
we're not done. We're not done. You people talk about Election Yoba as, that it's critically acclaimed and blah blah blah. See, the primary thing is that Dwindle is by 220-something-year-olds. Okay, maybe one is 30 something, but two late 20s, early 30ish people with like two or three films to their name, and they're not very smart. So based on the limited intelligence, what they did is quite wonderful. It's the same thing for Hey You, because Hey You's director has not exactly shown range as regards feminist issues. So based on the limited understanding, they did the best that they could. However, there was she who must not be named. There was B, who is a playwright, filmmaker, photographer,
Why do you
visual artist,
assume Hey You
sound
was trying to be
designer.
feminist? Maybe it
Like,
wasn't trying to be feminist and it's delivering exactly what it wants to deliver.
no,
Nonsense.
no,
The
no, no,
problem
no.
with the movie is not that it's anti-feminist. The problem with the movie is that it sucks. The storytelling is bad. The acting is bad. Feminism is the least of its problems. At least they attempt to tell somewhat of a story of sex work in a way that isn't completely terrible, while they make a lot of grand mistakes. However, that is not the problem with the movie. That might be its only redeeming quality, but even then, it fails at that. The rest of it, though, the acting, even the actors, which you are acknowledging yourself right now when you say, look at the people it's up against, it's shitty.
Okay, like I can't argue with that exactly, but I will say that if you have, the collective age of everybody who was in election Yoruba is probably 700. And if all of you have age and the wisdom of 700 years, and none of you can actually make a film that is decent, I don't think that you can compare it with Hey You or Dwindle. So it's not even like, it's like, comparing, like, the United States doing a fuck up with Nigeria doing a fuck up. It's not, we're not even, they're not working on the same planes. So more is expected of them. And Election Oba fails spectacularly. For Election Oba to even be discussed in the same category as Hey You and Dwindle emphasizes how terribly the film has performed, how terribly it has,
I
achieved
think
whatever
it
it wanted to achieve.
I think
Like
it is
it,
an insult. I think it's an insult to both Dari and Coyote that made this movie because at least the first two movies, both producers, their first movies managed to cross something. We're talking about B here and Mo of Ebony Life. Who expects anything good from them?
I know I
Excuse
expect from
me.
B,
You
yo.
went
I
in
know
there with
B
lofty
is
ideals.
critically acclaimed, please.
You went in there with lofty ideals. You're bad. Nobody's business. But we're talking about two young people who we thought would change the game, but they came in with doing the worst thing ever because they were looking to grab money from viewers. We're talking
Yeah,
about
but that's the
seven
thing. Now,
executive
Nollywood is
producers
about
who
money. Like
used
they
we
did,
are
like
talking about
whatever
seven
whatever
executive
scam that they
producers
did, it
who could
worked
not
because they
manage
made
to
upwards of
ask
30
what
millions at
Dwindle
the
is.
box office.
And
So
I
whatever
think
it
that they
is,
were going for Dwindle. They were actually going for Dwindle to be a catchphrase. That never happened. It didn't happen. At least
How would you
remember
know? You
that
didn't even finish the movie. How do you know what became?
Okay.
All right, everyone. That was getting a little spicy.
No, that was getting spicy. All right, but no, that's good fight from everyone. All right, let's go into our closing argument. Who's starting first? It was
I think Chow Meow.
you think wrong.
I think wrong. Who's starting first?
Yes, champion. No,
All right. So, the reality is both of them have made points against each other for why their movie is better. But for the most part, their only comeback is that Hey You is not feminist. Um, or I didn't even know what he was doing. But the reality is Alessia Oba packs a lot of powerhouses and they deliver some good performances. While yes, you expect more when you go into a movie for them, but that lies on your expectation. That doesn't mean that they perform terribly. They just had set such a high bar, and this time they just didn't come as high. But I don't think they failed spectacularly. The story they told was compelling and had a lot of great points. And Dwindle comes together and kind of ties the story together in the end. And I think you do yourself a great disservice because you haven't finished it. So you can't even argue that it
I think
doesn't.
I've said it twice that I
And
finished Dwindle. Listen to me
Hey
more,
You is
please.
just shitty from beginning to the end. It doesn't do anything with costuming. The costuming is inconsistent. She has a tattoo that fucking no one knows.
oh,
Okay.
sorry, had to me either. The 1 minute was up, but yes, I think we got about the general gist of your point. Thanks. All right. Who?
Always guiding.
Dwindle is the worst movie of the year, and I don't think it has any contender here because I did finish the movie. That was why I was angry with Mr. and Mrs. C. That's one. Two, it didn't tie the story at the end. That's the entire point because it's so convoluted. You don't know who was who and why they're showing up and why they even showed up in the first place. It's bad technically, sound wise, it's bad story wise, it's bad storytelling wise, it's bad ad placement, it's bad title, it's bad acting, it's worse. It's the worst actually. Not a single person pulled their weight. Not Bisola Wizi heavyweight. Nobody, not the veterans, not the new person, not even the director, not even the cinematographer, not even the sound, not even the editor. Nothing was working for Dwindle. Nobody could save it, not even the 7 executive producers.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mother,
Madakri.
take us off.
I will start this off by saying that Election Oba, a film that had 700 years of experience cumulatively, from actors to directors to showrunners to funders, had a scene where an 80-year-old veteran actress was speaking, but her mouth was not moving. At like, if at, so, what is the value of that 700 years? Election Oba was bad. It was like with Hey You and with Dwindle, they were experimental, young directors trying out new things, stretching their creative wings. Election, but they gave them textbook. They say open the textbook and copy, and they still failed. They basically said, "This is the answer, A, B, C. This is how you do here." To it's even a play. It's not even a book that you have to interpret what the character was saying. They're like enter stage left, character A, character B, turn to each other, say X, Y, Z.
Sorry. Yeah, that's. I think the point was made on that one. Is that everybody?
That is everybody.
Oh wow. Okay. This one, especially towards the end, became tough.
Yeah.
This one became tough towards the end. I think if I go back to my notes, I think I was Watakri came up with some of the, how it does poetic chaos. I have here. What did he say? Um, Oh, oops. Sorry, I've lost my notes. But yes,
I think you said that was a buffet of terrible performances.
yes, that's the one. A buffet of terrible performances. Yeah.
And he said they had notes.
Yes, they
Open
said
book test. And couldn't.
yeah, that open book test one was a nice one. He said, yeah, they botched Professor Oyinka, Shoyinka's work.
And I get the other films were made by younger actors, less experienced, younger filmmakers, less experienced.
All right. So Chow Miao's, talked about plot holes, talked about
focusing so much on making it sexy, they forgot to put in characterization for the rest of it.
Do you have any factors, by the way, for us?
I don't have factors.
I'd say I don't think there's anything particularly bad about Dwindle's colors. I don't recall any of that. I mean, like, I know. Yeah, I don't recall anything particularly bad about the color grading for Dwindle. There was oh, I mean, she didn't mention there was one there was one shot that was clearly like a stock video footage from something else, which didn't match. But it's not the color grading of the whole film. It's just that didn't match. But
I think Always Guiding had a good comeback to Nwata Kere on the youth of the other directors for Dwindle and Heyu, other filmmakers. Yeah, younger, moved the buck in a newer direction. So I thought that was a good comeback.
Who does the audience think? I wonder who the audience thinks won. All right, okay. So I think we should probably have done this from the start. For Chow Miao, please give us thumbs up if you think
Chow Miao convinced you that Heyu was the worst film.
Thumbs up emojis. Okay, and
did you scroll all the way down?
Yeah, I think I did. And for Wantakri, if you think Wantakri convinced you that Election Oba was the worst film, give us
100%.
100%, yeah, 100%. 100 or heart emoji.
Why are we all hearting it? Give us 100.
Yeah, 100. People are just putting in emojis, to be honest. Because I don't know what emojis are available to some people. Okay, and then lastly,
Always Guiding. If you think Always Guiding convinced you, give us a whatever emoji.
Yes, if Always Guiding convinced you.
1, 2.
I think it's two really on that. So
3.
Okay, all right. So people are leaning Always Guiding.
Okay.
All right.
I'm leaning Always Guiding.
You're leaning Always Guiding.
I'm leaning between Always Guiding and Chow Miao, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel like Wantakuri was passionate.
Yeah.
But I feel like I got more laid out points from Chow Miao and Always Guiding.
Yeah, I think so too. So, Chow Miao's. I'm trying to remember. I think I didn't. Did you get a lot of pushback? There's this thing that Chow Miao did say that they didn't have a lot of pushback
for Heyu, which is true. Yes, I didn't get a lot of pushback for Heyu from the other two. Yeah.
Why the film wasn't as bad?
So I will go Chow Miao.
Yeah, I think the speed round. So we're going to do a quick tiebreaker between this is not going to count as your point.
Yeah.
It's just for who gets eliminated. So this is between Chow Miao and Wantakri. All right. Are you guys ready? All right. Okay. So you guys don't know. So the first person to shout out an answer is going to go first. So unmute your mics, get ready. But maybe sometimes it might just be best to take some time. Whichever strategy you think is best. Okay, all right. So between Chow Miao and Wantakri, which is the best chief daddy?
Daddy one.
Chief Daddy one.
Because Chief Daddy
Right.
one
Okay.
actually had.
Pause and think about your
All right, hang on. All right. Okay, so
Chow Meow said it first.
Chow Meow said it first. So Wanda, you have to defend Chief Daddy too. That is that's how it goes. All right. So I don't know whether it was network issues that got you.
Get better internet.
All right. So whenever you're ready, Chow Meow, you have 20 seconds. Just take time. Arrange it because like it's 20 seconds. It's gonna go quick. Arrange your thoughts, and then whenever you're ready, the clock will start. I'm so excited for this. I wonder which way. All right, are you ready?
All right. So Chief Daddy delivers a known story, but in an interesting and new way. It has great actors like Joker Silver, who plays.
Did you say Chief Daddy 2?
Chief Daddy
Okay.
1.
All
Sorry.
right. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Like I would
All
say
right.
that. Chief Daddy
All right.
1. So Chief Daddy 1 is telling a old story in a way that feels fresh and new with new characters who are, funnier. J.K. Silver plays the lead role as, Chief Record's main wife, and she plays and carries the emotions on her face well as she deals with her husband's betrayal. And, the story is funny and,
all right, that's 20 seconds. See, 20 seconds goes
by really quick.
Goes by quick. Order your thoughts. Remember now, like you want to deal with points, like because I'm writing down the notes. All right. Okay, so when you're ready,
Chief Daddy 2.
Chief Daddy 2. Your clock starts only when you start speaking.
Okay, I go. Chief Daddy 2 United Twitter, which is a very hard thing to do. There are very few films where there's a unanimous opinion on, how everybody perceives the film. And Chief Daddy managed to do such a great job of pissing everybody off that Twitter was united for once on something. And I don't think there's any Nollywood film that has ever been.
Ooh.
That was a brave choice.
That was an interest. Creative. It is creative. I didn't say what is the better film. I said which
you
is
did
better.
Say what is the better Chief Daddy?
Yeah. Yes.
What's
Okay,
the
I
best
said
Chief Daddy? Yeah.
All right. Okay, I didn't say best produced, best made film.
You just said what is the better one?
Yeah. What's the better Chief Daddy? So if they want to expand on whatever, however they want to go, but okay, you have time. 15 seconds to respond to the rebuttals of the other person.
How people feel about the movie is not a defense or critique of the movie. So I don't see how this is even valid here, guys.
Okay,
is this your pushback?
That is my pushback.
Okay, all right. And Wantakari, what are you saying about?
Chief Daddy had an ensemble cast which was unanimously bad, and not just bad, but mediocre, to the point where everybody hated Chief Daddy, but not enough to do anything about it. When they can inspire action, come.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I think. Unfortunately, we know who's won this one, and it's just a shame because it seemed like it did seem like Wantakari wanted to pick a certain movie and he just didn't get it. I wouldn't have minded that role because like I think a thing you can say. So if, for instance, Wantakari had said, I blame Chief Daddy 1 for giving us C2. I think that's a legitimate person. It doesn't have to be about like what, like the film.
It just reminds Chief Daddy 1 was, and it started Chief Daddy 2. But
yes, I just I didn't get the conviction behind what you were saying. So we're just gonna have to give this one to Chow Meow. All right, okay. So you can help us you can help us judge the rest of the people want I agree. But yes, we're going into the speed round right now.
It's bouncing from speakers.
Oh, okay, all right. So you guys just got a glimpse of what the speed round is. So this should be relatively quick. We have 5 questions. So there's plenty of. The score is 2-1.
Yes.
All right. The score is 2-1. You have plenty of chances to come back. 5 questions, 5 points on the board. All right. So remember, it's whoever shouts out the answer first is the person who gets to start, and your time starts when you're speaking. 20 seconds for introduction, 15 seconds for rebuttals. All right. So the first question is, what is I have to say, obviously, this doesn't have to do with anything
We don't
we've
need to have watched
discussed.
it on Film Club.
Film Club, yeah. This is just general Nollywood. Listen. All right. What is the best Nollywood Netflix original?
Nicolapo.
Okay.
All right.
The Griot.
It's not that's not an
Prime.
original. That's not an original.
Okay, I need to check.
All right. So your options would be Lionheart, Citation, Oluture. I don't even know whether it should be, but yes.
Oluture.
Okay. Not Niger Christmas or Swallow. Okay. All right. Oluture. All right. So always guiding whenever you're ready. It's 20 seconds, so take your time.
Put your points together.
Put your points together.
Okay, do I start now?
When you're ready.
When you're ready, yeah.
Okay, Anikulapo is the better Netflix original this year, apart from the fact that it stayed on top. It also is like Olotorido, a conversational starter. But the difference here is that the director knew what to do from the beginning to the end. The world building, the plots, and even the plot twist, apart from the technicality.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. There we go. We got a couple of points in there. We had okay. It's not now to talk about it, but hopefully you're ready. Whenever you are, Chow Meow. Hang on. Yeah, but I need to start the clock for Chow Meow in case when she's ready. Whenever you're ready, Chow Meow. You can start.
No, she's not.
Oh, sorry.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Oloture, but the story itself and the story is based on is relatable, it's brutal, and it's urgent. It challenges you to action. The conflict is arranged so that you feel something and you understand at every point the foreboding that is happening. Omonobo Obili is obviously a master performance, and Sharon Oja plays her part very well.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Fact check.
All right. Okay. So that was also good. Rebuttal time.
15 seconds.
15 seconds. It's also back to you, always guiding.
When you're ready.
Okay. Oloture did nothing but sell wool and the jarring victimizing of prostitutes. He did nothing to call anyone to duty. There was no complaints, and he only thrived on sensationalism to spread the story. And I think the storytelling was lacking, and the performance of Sharon Oja was even lacking. Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Got a few good points in there. Okay. Chow Meow, when you're ready.
Chow Meow, you're mute.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. And Nicolakbo is unfortunately too long and has so many problems when it tries to translate a beautiful play into a movie. It just fails at translating the fables, and it's too tedious. It just is inconsistent.
Okay. Wow, you can feel the prayer.
The pressure is
You
getting
can
worse and
you can
worse.
you can feel it. All right, okay. How do you think our people did well?
I think they were too stressed this round.
Yeah,
I
I
think they
think
were both too stressed this
yes,
round.
yes. You can take time. I have some points, and then throw them out. I think, for me, I think Chamiel had the stronger point. I don't think anybody particularly did well in rebutting. So I'm just going with
Yes, I
the
think
opener.
Chamia had more of a list for the opener. But I think both our fighters now have an idea of what the speed round
Yeah.
is and how it works.
I think it's just the experience of knowing one thing, doing it is another
exactly.
one.
So
20 seconds goes quick.
20 seconds really quick. So take a bit of time.
Yeah.
And put your points down because 20 seconds is very fast.
Yes. All right. Okay, but that point goes to Chalmia.
So we are on 2-2. Speed round is dangerous.
All right. Okay. So you ready? Who? For the second question, say unmute yourself. So
Unmute yourself.
when you shout out, All right. So for our second question, who is Nollywood's most talented bimbo?
Bimbo Ademoye.
I think I had that from Always Guiding First. That came through first. So Chow Miao.
We have a few other bimbos that are very talented.
Yes.
Fuck. Bimbo. Does Messi? Not Messi. Rita Dominic count as a bimbo?
Wow.
Do you want us to list the other bimbos?
No,
that would be helpful.
We can't help.
No.
Not choosing a bimbo.
No. Nothing.
I'm drawing a blank.
All right. We're gonna have to give this point to Always Guiding.
I don't know. Define bimbo first.
Bimbo,
like
named bimbo.
I think you said bimbo.
No, bimbo. What did you say? Why did you say bimbo?
Oh my god, let's not get into that. Now that we've clarified that it is a name, who is Nollywood's most talented bimbo apart from
Bimbo Akinsanya, obviously.
Akintola, okay.
All right. Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay, so Always Guiding when you're ready.
To defend Bimbo.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you taking time? You're gonna mute. I don't know.
I thought you said I could take time. So
Okay. You can take your time. Take your time. Other bimbos that could have been picked.
Bob Manuel.
Bimbo Manuel. That's a pretty good bimbo.
A very talented bimbo.
Very talented.
Very talented bimbo.
Has a lot in his catalog as well. He's one of those guys I would have actually said, no matter what film he's in, he's usually pulling a good performance.
Consistency.
He's been
apart from State of Emergency was terrible there.
God, I can't remember State of Emergency for the life of me.
I haven't seen that in ages.
Since I was a child.
Okay, 20 seconds to defend Bimbo Ademoye. Bimbo Ademoye has had the quickest success for a young actor. She's versatile. She emotes well. She holds her audience. She commands the audience attention also. And she's beautiful.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Great points.
Good points. Chamia, when you're ready. Are you taking time? I'm just checking that you're not speaking.
Yes, I am taking time.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's see people. people getting into it now, using their time very well. Is there any other bimbo we're thinking about?
I only know Ademoye Akintola and Manuel. Abimbola Craig?
Yeah. Abimbola Craig? Yeah. Abimbola Peperempe. I'm thinking about whether there's... Okay.
So I'm ready when you guys are.
Yeah, sure.
Bimbo Akintola, of course, is a timeless actress. She transcends both film, stage, and television, and also she has been nominated for an award, at least one I can think of, because her talent is incredible.
Okay.
Right,
definitely wasn't Googled, I can tell. All right, so
internet scammer.
So rebuttals, 15-second rebuttals.
Always guiding when you're ready.
Yeah. Always guiding. Are you ready? Just because this is the rebuttals, this is...
Okay, so I'll go. Bimbo
Yeah.
Akintola hasn't managed to separate her stage presence from her screen presence. She tends to act as though she's on stage when she's acting, so she comes off mechanical. Bimbo Ademoye also has been nominated for awards, and she also has transcended screen and TV, especially at YouTube.
Okay.
Those are good points.
Good points.
Good
All right.
pushback.
Good pushback as well. Yes. All right. So Chamiao, whenever you're ready.
Bimbo Adeboye plays the same repeated 3 characters. She has played the Breaded Life character in at least 4 different movies I can think of. She manages sometimes to be very flat while being overdramatic. Bimbo Akintola is timeless, and while she is very stage heavy, she delivers on films and gets very complex roles.
Okay.
Well,
Chow Miao did come back with the rebuttal.
I think Chow Miao's rebuttals were stronger.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, I think Always Guiding had a stronger opener. Chow Miao had a stronger rebuttal, but I will give props to Always Guiding fact checking Chow Miao on Bimbo Ademoye's nominations.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, are you leaning? I'm gonna have to go to the audience.
I was gonna say we're gonna have to ask the audience.
Let's go to the audience on this one. Audience members. So it's thumbs up for Chow Miao, or hearts for
Always Guiding.
That name I keep on forgetting. Thumbs up for Chow Miao, heart for Always Guiding.
Just keep doing it while we scroll. Okay, we have 2 for Always Guiding.
Always Guiding.
Thumbs up for Chow Miao. Any thumbs up? Okay, I guess Always Guiding wins this round.
Always Guiding. All right.
Back in the lead. 3-2.
Okay. Oh, jeez. This one is getting... So we've done what? 2 out of 5.
Yeah. So 3 more questions to go.
There's still plenty of time. All right. So this is who is the Nollywood box office? Are you guys are on mute? Who is the nuts? I've already given it away. Who's the Nollywood box office queen or king?
Genevieve Nnaji.
Did they say the same thing again?
No.
What?
I said Genevieve Nnaji. You said Funke Akindele.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I heard Funke Akindele twice.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
Oh, fact checker is needed here.
I think I did hear. I think I heard Always Guiding first. So Always guiding when you're ready. Tell us why you think Funke Akindele is the box office queen. This it's gonna be more straightforward. I'm not gonna lie for always guiding. Genevieve is going to be difficult because her well, gonna have to go back to the CDs, VCDs days. But always guiding when you're ready, let us know and we'll start your clock. People I think that could have been picked from this, AY. Wouldn't have been
that is true.
AY is the show banger with a guy. Kemi Adetiba. Kemi Adetiba is box office. Jade,
Brotherhood still doing it.
Yeah. With Brotherhood and Nii would have been another bad shot.
Yeah.
All right. Always guiding, you ready?
Yeah, so Funke Akindele opened up with Return of Jennifer, which was a huge success at the cinemas. And so far, almost every single movie she's starred in has been a huge success. Even this Dwindle that I ate that opened at 40 million, and Omogete is still our highest grossing. She's a show banker.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Chow Meow. Whenever you're ready.
Collecting thoughts.
Okay.
In terms of other box, is there not many box office kings. Yeah, I think Nii, AY.
Maybe for Nollywood or Dunlade.
I don't know. You're speaking very quietly.
I said maybe for Nollywood or Dunlade.
Oh, okay. Well, on my Kaede's got some. He's got a couple, but I think they're mostly attached to.
Urban Life.
Yeah, bigger. Yeah. I mean, Mo obviously would have been a box office queen that some people missed. But hey, you think this is easy? You can come on the next Nollyfight. It's very difficult.
See how quickly your brain works.
Yeah, we're doing this after everybody has picked up their answers, and it's easier. It's easier then. But yeah. All right.
All right. So Genevieve Naji has been in recurring blockbusters for a very long time. The Half of a Yellow Sun alone grossed 340 million, and she's also the highest paying actress for a reason. Her movies are consistent bankers.
Okay. All right.
Which one grossed that?
Always
richest actress, so please not highest paid. Well, highest paid too, I think one of the highest paid.
Okay. Fact checker, can you fact check?
Which film grossed 300 million?
Half of a Yellow Sun and this thing. Meanwhile, hang on, let me get out a new timer. For. All right. So for always guiding, whenever you're ready with your rebuttal.
Unfortunately for Genevieve, she's not appeared in a lot of movies since the emergence of the cinema.
Sorry,
she's only appeared.
Typewriter.
Sorry.
You just took my time. Please, I'm reclaiming my time.
Yes.
Unfortunately for Genevieve, she's not appeared in a lot of movies after the emergence of the cinema, so we cannot fact check her numbers. And Lionheart struggled with 20 million, even though it was a Netflix original movie that she directed herself. So she's not the box office queen. She will need a new movie to do that.
Okay.
All right. Chamia, what do you say? What is your rebuttal?
Funke Akindele leans very heavily on terrible comedy that is caricature. Genevieve, however, acts seriously and draws the numbers that she draws. You can fact check those numbers; they are on Google. It's unfortunate that Funke only has one really high grossing movie, and that's why you can make this argument.
Okay. All right. This is a clean. I mean, I don't need the record to come back. This was going to be a tall order.
Yeah.
For Child Meow to get in it because yes,
Yeah.
Funke is quite. It's difficult to get her numbers, and I think that's a good push. That was good pushback from Always Guiding.
But it is difficult to get because we haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah,
Part
yeah,
of it,
yeah.
Funke's
And I would say
numbers
like
are easier because of recency.
Funke's numbers are they're a sure thing in terms of
And
this.
Always Guidance points, as we haven't seen much of Genevieve since the cinema resurgence.
All right.
So,
Okay. So what's that 4-2?
yeah, that is 4-2. We have 2 more questions.
We have 2 more questions.
So there is still a chance.
You can tie, and then we can go to tiebreaker.
Yes.
All right. Jeez, the people, maybe 2 people. All right. We'll see. Or maybe Chow Meow will make a comeback. All right. What is? Sorry. What's your column? People who are competing.
Unmute your mic.
Unmute your mics.
Once I mute your mic and keep it muted.
All right. So, who is Nollywood's best and most prolific actor? Actor or actress, obviously. Actor, I see, is a neutral term.
Genevieve.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Genevieve.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see it the most prolific.
RMD.
Oh, Genevieve versus
and RMD. We're going veterans. Let's do this.
Okay, all right. I like this. Yeah, that's RMD is a strong choice off the bat.
I mean, the Fine Wine Space comes to mind. All these thirsty people here.
Yeah, just from recent and just box office. I mean, I don't want to make any better arguments for them. I'll stay away from that. But other people who could have been, I think, most prolific. I think we could have.
For better or worse.
The answer, Brother Shaggy.
Brother Shaggy. Was so prolific.
Yeah, Brother Shaggy.
For better or worse, Funke.
Funke as well is another name that really could have come out as prolific as well. But like, prolific could be consistently good, consistently box office, whatever you interpret.
Yeah, exactly.
So like.
Also, if we do throw this to the audience, please do not vote based on thirst. Vote based on arguments.
Yes. Right. Who said it first? Always Guiding. Always Guiding.
Oh, this is tense.
I think I have forgotten Always Guiding's name every time.
I know.
Throughout this game. It's such a weird. Who has 2 names?
AG Baby.
2 words.
That's why AG Baby.
All right. Yeah, Always Guiding. Whenever you're ready,
take it away.
You can take it away. My pick. Who would you have picked for most prolific?
I think Genevieve would be a good choice, and I thought Genevieve because of the round that just happened.
Yeah, I thought Funke. Well, I thought Funke because of the round that just happened as well. But if I had to sit with it, I would have gone for.
God, who would I have gone for?
I think Twain. Is his name Twain?
Oh my goodness, he is. I feel like it would be hard to argue prolific because we always even forget his name. But he's brilliant. He's so good.
Yeah. All right.
Oshai.
I can't remember his last name. Yeah. Okay.
I swear I can see the spelling. I just can't pronounce it.
All right.
Okay. For Genevieve is our most prolific actress because at just the age of 43, she's had quite a number of movies to her name, and her name sells movie enough for her to transcend selling VODs to being the first person that backed the Netflix original, and she's also starred in more internationally partnered movies, and that's his testament.
Thank you. I think those are solid points.
Solid points. Okay. Chow Meow.
Chow Meow.
Why do you think
RMD Richard Murphy
is the most prolific actor? Are you speaking? I don't know. It looks like you're
Not yet.
Okay, all right.
Give me a second.
All right. This is serious work.
I love it.
This is serious. Watakwe, can you hear these people do this amazing bit of research work?
Okay.
All right.
RMD is a multi-award-winning actor. He's been in a lot of great films, and in fact, he pulls a fire out of everyone he acts beside, including some very leading actresses who he manages to overpower in each role. He has played villains, dramas, as well as love interests, and he consistently is in high-grossing movies.
Okay.
Did you time yourself? Yeah. I think you timed yourself.
Yeah, it's 20 seconds exact. All right. Rebuttals. Right. Whenever you're ready. Always guiding.
Well done.
Whenever you're ready, always guiding. Your rebuttals for why you think
Genevieve is more prolific than RMD.
Both strong openings, I think. Is a decent openings.
Yeah, I think so.
15 seconds. It could end here, or we could go to the last question. Let's see how this unfolds.
Oh, I'm tense.
I should be playing that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire movie. You know, they have the ones where you know, when you're waiting for the question. It's a heartbeat, isn't it? Like
that is true. How are you making that sound?
Very talented man.
I can see.
All right.
Critically acclaimed.
Always guiding. What are you saying?
The most prolific.
Number one. Where are my laurels?
Unfortunately for RMD, acting for him has become about making money, not a problem. Taking the same roles and translating the same roles across board as the same character. It isn't about quality, it is about the quantity and the bottom line. And I don't think that makes him prolific. That makes him hungry.
Oof. Wow. That's also basically exactly 15 seconds. It's good rebuttal.
Good Shots fired.
Yeah.
Taz, how's your gun looking?
It's Chow Meow, thank you very much.
Sorry, it's Chow Meow. Such a fun name to say as well.
All right.
Genevieve's so-called international acclaim is based on a body of mostly mediocre work like EJ. Her Netflix original Lionheart was so badly done, it left a bad taste in audience's mouth. Some of her best work is next to RMD, and she has relied on stronger actors pulling emotion out of her very heavily.
Oh,
Jesus.
That was violent.
Oh.
That was violent. I will have to fact check Lionheart leaving a sour taste in most audiences' mouths. I think that was, considering how we were nearly murdered for saying something about the color grading of Lionheart, I have to fact check that.
I do like Chow Meow's, you know, a lot of her Genevieve's, and like, I don't know how true. There's a healthy chunk. There's a healthy chunk. But like, it's a good thing about. There's a healthy chunk that a lot of it was.
5.7 on IMDb.
See, there we go. It's is alongside RMD. Yeah. I was going to. Wantakwe, are you on? If you're, I don't know, where are you leaning? I'm leaning.
I enjoyed the violence of Chow Meow's rebuttal, but I do think there's stronger arguments for why RMD is the.
What do you mean, RMD?
Chow Meow's person's RMD in it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's stronger arguments than Chow Meow has given for why RMD is the more prolific.
Okay, but just based on the arguments.
The violence was fun in the rebuttal, but I don't feel like it was overly factual.
So do you think so? You thought Always Guiding had the better one? That's it's the two of them side by side.
I know. I'm thinking about it, because I get Always Guiding's point on Genevieve being being such a big name, right? That if a movie came out tomorrow that starred Genevieve, it would draw so many people to the cinema.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I agree with like RMD taking so many roles recently. It's not special anymore. I agree.
But
I thought that was a good point. I thought those were good points.
I don't, but like the break, and I don't know. I think I did think Chamia hinted at this. The break,
I feel like
because prolific
based on the previous point, right? But on the previous points, I will agree that the break has hampered her. Put a dent in possibility of her status as box office queen.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think the break has affected the cinematic draw she would have.
That's not the point. The point is prolific. Prolific is like taking a break is the opposite of what you want from some. Prolific
taking
is like
every role is not what you want from a prolific actor either.
That's no. That's not true. If you take every role and you hit it out of the park, that's
you've added that.
No. But I'm saying like taking every role on its own isn't an argument against.
Yes, but I think Always Guiding had an argument of replicating characters across roles.
Right.
And I feel like I do see a bit of sameness even in different roles.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just leaning. Yeah, okay. Matakri, I think we're on opposite sides. Matakri, did you hear the speakers? What side are you leaning towards?
I'm leaning towards Chow Miao because I like violence.
Okay, this is why we don't ask the audience. So people just are here.
And I'm like, don't tell me violence. Tell me the arguments.
Based on the arguments.
Okay. I still like Chow Miao's because the violence is there, but the violence it bites because there is bites. So yes.
All right. Okay. So that's where he's leaning. Yeah, I don't think it was stretch, and yes, I think Always Guidance point about taking every role isn't, it takes from, but like just I think it can make you not the best prolific, the least prolific, but taking a break you don't qualify. If you take a break,
I don't feel like the break is a good deterrent.
What the word means.
But also, I did have to say, like, because I just remembered one of the points in Chow Miao's very, very beautifully violent comeback was about most of her good roles being, like, next to RMD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the data, but, like, when people talk about Genevieve's old, powerful roles, one of the ones that comes up most often is Blood Sisters, and that was next to Omotola Jaladi.
Right.
So I don't... It's not even much of a conversation on, oh yes, that thing with RMD, that was where she was great in.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not basing my argument on that particular point. The violence, yes. I hear you. I think Genevieve was too difficult a person to pick, and I don't think Always Guiding did enough to justify.
I think Genevieve is a big enough name.
It's not about that. Prolific is.
I think it counts.
All right. I'm obviously. I put on my Badamasi cap and I'm giving it to.
You don't get
it's not Badamasi
cap with me.
It's not Badamasi cap.
I do. You can argue that Nwatakri went with you and 2 against 1, but you can't give me a Badamasi cap.
Well, if it was a split, somebody has to pick it.
Tiebreaker is
okay. There's no tiebreaker. Nwatakri. All right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, one. Okay, so it's that a tie? Is that?
Yeah, it's 2-2.
What? 4-4.
4-4. Sorry.
All right. Okay. You didn't do math. All right. Okay. So the final question. Jesus. All right. All right. we have to go to a tiebreaker question. We've done. Have we...
Oh, I like this next question. It's kind of
All right.
delicious.
So, so on mute your mics. Get ready for this question. All right. What is the worst Nollywood third act?
Oh, it's 4-3. Sorry.
Glamour Girls.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Strong start.
Ooh.
Collision course.
Oh,
Ooh,
right, fighters.
okay.
You're on fire.
Okay.
Sorry, just to fact check us. It's on 4-3, not 4-4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's 4-3. So our fifth question might send us into a tie break or might end it.
It's just 4-3?
Yeah, it's 4-3.
Okay. Sorry. It's fifth question, yes. So they've gone with we have
You have two beautiful options.
Glamour
It's
Girls
delicious.
third act versus Collision Course third act. What other third acts come to mind?
Ojukokoro for sure.
As the worst third act?
Only because the first two were so good.
Okay, all right. I think that would have been a creative angle to take it, like maybe something that
it would be just the most disappointing because the first two were really good.
That's how I would have got you. That would have been like, hey, but like, it's disappointing.
Look, if you set me up with 1 and 2, act 1 and 2 being bad, and your third act is bad, fine. It works for me.
Don't give them points.
Oh, sorry.
All right. I would have. Yeah, I think these aren't, but
maybe it's so late, but the whole thing was.
Man for the Job is my, because I still enjoy that first.
But there we go. It's still the same thing as the last.
No. No. The last act is crazy. It's bonkers. And okay, that last act is crazy, and the first. I think the first part was, I thought, really interesting and well done, and like had all this nice mood to it that the third act throws away. All right, we've done enough. Fighters, are you ready?
I was going to say gentlemen starting, but it's ladies.
All right. Who who went first this time? Was it? Is it always
No, Chow Miao.
Chow Miao went first?
Yeah.
And Chow Miao said
Glamour Girls.
Glamour Girls.
No, you guys have it mixed up.
Oh, sorry,
I said Collision Course. She said Glamour Girls.
So it means Always Guiding went first.
Yes. I think Chow Miao's strategy is go last.
That is a beautiful strategy. I rate it. I mean, it's good when you're not doing which Chief Daddy is worse.
Yeah. Sorry, one Thackeray. All right. Always Guiding, you ready?
I'm just happy it's the ladies winning tonight.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, my agenda is here to stay.
Okay. Always Guiding, I used to collecting notes.
Also, just to say, you can both collect your thoughts simultaneously.
Yeah.
At least for your intros.
Always Guiding, you have to give me some sort of hint that you can hear us and.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, give me 10 more seconds.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, one Thackeray, please pay attention to the argument. We might have to come to you on this. In fact, I think it's only fair. There's 3, I reckon, people who get the gist of the game now, so we can vote. We can have a 3-way vote on how this goes. I said vote.
Okay. Here, I'll head him.
Oh God, that this is being recorded. This is public. Mm-hmm. All right.
Publicly admitted you, but the mass is what you've done.
All right. Always Guiding.
Unfortunately for Glamour Girls, no one can say they saw the third act of Glamour Girls coming. The plot threw in an espionage plot out of nowhere, a hacker out of nowhere, and then the reconciliation out of nowhere. Nothing was set up. Thank you.
Nice.
That was beautifully done.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Gather
I
the
remember
thoughts.
that.
Yes, that did come out.
That brought back some memories for me.
Cool memories.
Fun memories.
All right. So Chow Meow, you ready?
Hi. Collision Course makes a mistake of pretending to be social commentary about police brutality. It becomes painfully obvious in the third act when it tries to portray sadness in characters that have had otherwise no chemistry between them as a crucial moment, and then uses painful history from social discourse as a lazy backdrop.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. And rebuttals. Always guiding. It's gonna be funny to see what Always Guiding says as a way of rebuttal for Collision Course, because I remember the pain during the film club when she was talking about it. But now she
I have rebuttals for this one.
Yeah, I mean I do, but let's see what Always Guiding has to say with her rebuttal. You ready, Always Guiding? Delicious. Oh man,
I think being baked would help.
I can't wait for next week Sunday. We're still sort of in the mood of taking a break from number one, talking about a specific film. Next week we'll be doing a whole recap of the year, and everybody can come and discuss what your favorite and worst films are. Name, what do you call it? Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame, Hall of Shame, best line, worst line, sweetest line, motive, and motive. Or well, baked, bro. Whatever it is.
Bianca.
All right.
There's so many options.
Yes, and other people have been commenting. We see it. Read some of the comments people are saying. If I says I don't think I can recover from Mantakari's closing statement on Jide Kosoko. That was very violent.
In fairness, that was an atrocious performance.
Unexpected.
Can I go now?
Yes. Sure.
Okay, so while CC might have been backwards, for it is a propaganda agenda. We are not deliberating over the morality or the terrible directing or the storytelling. At least the third act managed to tie both central characters together to achieve the propaganda agenda. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Beautifully done.
Chow Meow, what is your rebuttal?
Glamour Girls, while shitty, doesn't make the mistake of taking itself serious, which is obvious from the action plot points and the terrible cast. Collision Course boasts insults us from an artistic point, but also a social justice point by taking itself so seriously.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I actually think Chow Meow did something. She brought something back. I think with the taking itself seriously, it's not a bad point. It was such a hill to climb though, because I do think Always Guiding.
I think Chow Meow had solid points about the film, about solid critiques on Collision Course as a film, but I don't think there were specifics on why the third act on its own sucked. And I feel like bringing in, I know you mentioned national tragedy, but I feel like specifying that bringing in the clips from the NSAS movement to force an emotional act to the film, I think that would have been a stronger argument. I think Always Guiding I'm sorry, but I've Always Guiding brought back memories of how Glamour Girls ended, and yes, there was no way to see that coming.
All right, okay, Matakuri, which side are you on this one? Matakuri, are you there? All right. I have to say I'm leaning Always Guiding as well. I think it was. I completely forgot about how.
I forgot.
And then when that came back, and honestly, Collision Course annoyed me a lot more with that third act. 100%.
I was fuming.
The pain.
Fuming.
Yes. But I think there's something Chow Meow does say, because I think she said to a point. She said, that's where it for sure that it's going to be this is what it's going to be, and this is what it's trying to do, which felt very
I think also pointing out the mismatch between the propaganda and the clip of the NSAS movement would have been a great example of chaos in that last act.
All right, so we're going with Always Guiding?
We're going with Always Guiding.
All right.
I would have to say, though, I would not want to be up against either of these two because...
I don't think any of these three.
Oh, my God. You know what? I'll take one Takri.
You take one Takri?
I'll take one Takri because one Takri might drag me and my ancestors, but he might forget to list the actual points. So while I will cry about the shade, I might still win.
All right. Okay. Wow. Yes, I guess. Always Guiding is Nollywood champion for today.
Ladies of Nollywood Film Club, you're awesome.
All right. Thank you so much for everybody who's come and listened, and who will be listening on the replay. I thought this was a lot of fun. If you enjoy it, let us know. And
I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun, but we're doing this for the audience as well.
We are?
Any feedback is welcome. Either leave a comment whether you want to see this more often, or maybe we just do it at the end of every year.
I think end of year is fun, or maybe twice a year.
Whatever you think of it. But we enjoyed this. Thank you so much. Thanks to our fighters. You guys brought it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Final words, any words from our guys? Always Guiding champion.
Do you want to give a speech?
Nollyfight 2022.
I want to say thank you to everybody, my co-debaters, and fellow Nollywood film clubbers.
Okay, timekeeper.
Thanks for not allowing me to confuse you, but convince you. And I also want to say thank you to Otas because she held me by the jugular. She was drawing blood. I was fighting for my life. And thank you, Edwin, for making my day because Edwin is the market woman. No, I'm just dragging everybody. I would always want Edwin on my team as a fighter. In fact, the two of them just go first, not even back up. Don't be doing the fights. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Always Guiding.
So gracious.
Yes, very gracious, and it was fun. From everybody brought it. Any words from either
Chow Meow or Takari?
I'd just like to say that I was cheated. I had everything I needed. But
as expected.
A very vital piece of information, which means that I had to watch all the opposing opponents' films. I did not have that information, otherwise I would have won. But I take no accountability. I play all the blame to Mr. C. See you guys next year.
So somebody pay attention. I love it. You know what? Yes, Always Guiding, a gracious winner. Watakri, a sore loser. Everything's on brand.
I love it.
Anyways, I see the comments. I was the people's champ. Never mind that our hosts are dictators and but I had fun.
Thank you. All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Next week, again, everybody's welcome. We're going to be talking about the 2022 year recap. We're going to be looking back at the year before we finish the year
with Far From Home. And then we go on Christmas break.
Yes, just 2 weeks.
Not like I don't love you guys.
All right. But thank you so much, guys, for coming up. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for all the people who voted with their thumbs ups and their
hearts,
high emojis. Thanks to our contestants. This was amazing. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at IrokoCritic and join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. West African time on our spaces.